Alright, now there guys, for the actual assignment this week, what I want you to do is to find yourself a photograph, and it could be any photograph. I mean, I was working with this photograph that I took of my kids. I mean, I want the photograph to be pretty big, right? Think about something that's kind of large. Obviously, these have been ripped out of magazines, although it could be something as simple as like a picture of a purse. It doesn't need to be a picture of a person at all. That's up to you, exactly what you want to draw in the end. You know, a picture of shoes or a picture of, you know, here's some shoes. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be people, right? But I'm going to leave subject matter up to you. But you want to find a photograph that you can use. And then once we've found a photograph we can use, what we're going to do is we're going to rip that paper in half, or cut it in half, I should say. So we're going to fold it first, right? And we're going to fold it very, very, very nicely. We want it to be nice and straight, like this. And then once we get it nice and straight, what we're going to do is take a pair of scissors and cut along this line that we've made, and make it you know, nice and neat. We want a very neat cut line. If you have something, if you feel like you can tear it, you know, if you're good at tearing stuff, if you fold it this way and you turn it over and you fold it again the other direction, sometimes you can get a very, very neat tear right down the center of a piece of paper. But if you don't feel like you can do that, what you want to do is to go and get a pair of scissors and do it instead. Let's see if I can tear it. Okay, I want to fold it a bunch of times back and forth. You can see this is like 4 or 5 times already. And if I start at the top and I just pull very, very gently, but persistently, oop. I didn't like what was happening there for a second, so I decided to start from the other end again. Oh, that was not working so well at the bottom, right? Come on, come on, come on. Nope, definitely going to need a pair of scissors. All right, hold on. All right, that last little tiny bit, look, it's only like an inch worth of paper here that needs to get cut along the line, which is a shame. All right, now I have 2 halves, right? And then what I'm going to do is pick one half that I'm going to draw, right? That'll be this half. And then this half here I can tape or glue down to the piece of paper that I have. So here's my paper, here's some tape. I'm going to place this just on half of the paper here, right? And I want this to be as neatly lined up to the edge as I can. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm just going to tape it right up here at the top, and I'm just going to take it all the way down here at the bottom. Once I have that taped down, I'm going to use my other half of my photograph and a pencil, and I'm going to make some little marks in the corners. So I want this all to be nice and lined up all over again. Make sure the image is good and lined up. Don't move it around. I can make some little marks over here. One going up and down, one going left and right. Over here, going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to use my ruler to give a border, right? Just like I was showing you when I was doing the photograph of my children. Once that border is established on there, I want you guys to use some of the tricks that were in the Better Accuracy for Drawing video in order to start to come up with your final image. And so let's look at some of those steps real quick. So when we're thinking about those steps that we just got done kind of going over, what we really want to think about is things like measuring out points. So here's an example of another drawing that got started, right? And you can see where these points have been plotted out. And some of them have been plotted out by using the border and trying to find where it fits in the border, right? How far they are from the border. And then some of them from how far from the other edge of the photograph they are. And so starting to go through and plotting out lines like that, and then starting to, plotting out points like that, and then starting to add in some of your lines, like you can see has been going on here, roughed in lines, is definitely a first step. You could start to make some shapes as you go through as well, and you can see some in this drawing here where we actually have some actual shapes, right? Like this one's definitely a triangle and a diamond shape, or then the shape of this halftone line that's coming around the head as well, right? Here's another one that I actually still have the other photograph from, and you can see the same idea here where we've developed up maybe a little bit more of the face. And what we want to do is to keep on kind of pushing it, just like I did in this drawing that I just got done doing for class, this one here. And this drawing, right? So we're going to use the ideas that I was working with in this drawing. And I'm going to show you some of these other ones that have gotten a little bit farther done. So here are some of these ones. And the same thing here. Here's the second half of the drawing, right? The second half of the photograph. And then you can see where the drawing was itself. And you know, you can get a bit of an idea of how far it went, right? Went a little bit farther than the drawing that I did of my children. Here's another one here, and I just happen not to have the other half of this at all anymore, but it gives you an idea, same concept, right? Here's one here of George Clooney, and this one has been taken all the way to fruition, right? This one is completed. And then another one here of a model, I don't know what her name was, I'm afraid, but it's the same idea where you can go through and start adding in some of these details with a value if you'd like to at some point in time. But what I'm mostly looking for is those ideas that we plotted out in this drawing here of my children in the demo that I did here for better accuracy. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good one.